And it's good evening from me, and good night from him.
Okay, hello. You are listening to Talking Utter Slot, the podcast about having fun with toy cars.
It might look like a Two Ronnies rerun, but it's not. It is coming up to Christmas, though.
It's the Christmas gift you didn't know you wanted. Anyway, have I said you're listening to Talking Utter Slot and doing something a bit different. We're going to have another knockout competition like we did last year or the year before or whatever it was, when we had a World Cup of slot. But this time we're going to concentrate on the recently immensely popular with everybody TV and film slot cars. So, and borrowing an old British TV programme format, we're going to call it It's a Scalextric's TV and film slot car knockout. That doesn't fall off the tongue easily, but I couldn't think of anything better.
Here come the Belgians.
Yeah. Jokers. I don't know. We should play Jokers. Anyway, so being semi-serious for a minute so you can understand what we're about to do. It wouldn't explain why we're doing it because madness is part of that one. Anyway, there's a lot of TV and film related slot cars. And this man's made even more of his own, but they're not allowed in. And in looking at the list, we discovered that we didn't even have to include cars from Pioneer or Carrera or anyone else because Scalextric have made a lot of TV and film cars.
Going back a very, very long way. So it's not all modern stuff, although there is quite a bit of modern stuff.
We've put a few oldies in there, including what I refer to as the granddaddy of TV and film slot cars, which is the James Bond Aston Martin.
But you'll be either sad or delighted to hear there are no Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That's easier for you to say.
Yeah, quite.
There's quite a lot of James Bond cars, and there's quite a few Batmobiles.
Yes.
We have had to miss a few out, actually, and we've had to compress down. So, for example, Back to the Future DeLoreans, rather than have four, which there are four models of it, we've compressed it into one. And what's the other one I did that with?
The James Bond Lotus Esprit. We've gone for the Spy Who Loved Me, the white one, because that's actually a chase car, whereas the other ones weren't.
Yeah. So we whittled it down, pre-qualifying, to 32 entrants for it's a Scalextric's TV and film slot car knockout. And the format is going to be that we will shortly, this is what this programme's all about, we'll have a draw with a special guest, and that'll determine the initial games, matches, what you call it, what you will, and then we'll go from there, and it's a knockout, and they'll proceed on to the next round, into a quarterfinal, a semi-final, and eventually a final, and we'll proclaim a champion, hopefully before the end of the decade. Right, so it's time for the draw. Having explained what we're going to do, which is something we recorded earlier, I hope, we're now going to go over to a special guest to help us do the draw for the It's a Scalextric's TV and film slot car knockout. It's not snappy, is it? And I'm pleased to say our special guest is Slaughter. Yay! Crowd goes wild.
Woo!
Hello.
Hello, welcome to the slightly chilly slot shed.
Oh, all right. Well, we're indoors, so it's not so bad with the heating on. Pretending it's summer in t-shirts. So how are you?
I'm well. I'm kind of bracing myself for the onslaught that is Advent on YouTube.
Yes, that's imminent. Yes, that'll be. But that's good. You know, you've done it a few times now. You should have it off pat. Anyway, so for today, having explained what we're going to do, you're going to draw the names from a hat.
From Anne Hat, yes.
Quite literally, Anne Hat. There we go. And then we're going to read them out, and we'll keep a note of them, and this will form it. So the first draw, second draw will be the first match, and we'll go on like that. And we'll probably have a break after about 8, just so we can draw breath and have a cup of tea or a sip of tea, and we'll go from there. Okay?
Okay.
Right then.
So, draw number 1 then.
Draw number 1
is James Bond, Aston Martin, Quantum of Solace.
Oh,
okay.
I went, ooh, that was really significant.
And that goes with, oh, Turncoat MG Metro 6R4.
Wow, that's one of my favourites. Well, nominations. There's a long story behind that car, but I'll tell it in the show. Yeah, okay.
Okay, right. So the next matchup is John Wick Plymouth Barracuda. Now, I like that one. Good car.
Well, I have to say, after your review of it, it's why it justified getting in because we've kept out some of the things which are just repainted ordinary cars, but you pointed out how many differences there were. So,
Yeah, as I was kind of going through, well, this is correct to the car from the factory, but this is correct to the film, I started hearing Nick's voice in my head.
welcome to my
Anyway,
world.
John Wick is against, Captain Scarlet,
Oh,
special
nice.
control car. Now I'm imagining that thing kind of driving around on fire with one door hanging off it. Right, matchup number 3 is Inspector Morse Mark II Jazz.
All right, cue the music in everyone's head for copyright reasons.
And
15 seconds, I think.
Can we? Okay.
Only Fools and Horses Reliant Regal Van.
This is what I
Right.
was hoping. This is what I was hoping for. This is what I was
This
hoping
is the
for.
sort of
quite
thing you want to see
crazy,
acted out full scale on a track.
On a
isn't it?
Christmas special.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right, so matchup, what, number 4?
Number 4.
James Bond, AMC, The Man with the Golden Gun.
Hmm.
Against.
Yeah, I think there's nothing it can go against that it stands a chance. But
Careful what you wish for, the Mr. Bean Mini.
I think Mr. Bean Mini is going to do surprisingly well.
Well, as long as it doesn't have to go anything too high, too low.
Yeah, we're not going to be performance testing them. That's for sure. Good,
So
good.
that's 4 matchup. Shall
Yeah.
we carry on?
Keep crack on.
Is that Group 1?
Well, yes, say yes. I haven't laid them
Right, so
out
the
yet.
first one in what? Group 2 is
Good. Too.
the Bluesmobile.
Way. I finally watched it on the other week. Still haven't bought the slot car though.
James Bond, Lotus Esprit, S1, The Spy Who Loved Me.
Yes, I think we might have explained some of the cars because there are so many of them. We're kind of compressed it. So there's lots of James Bond Lotuses, but we've compressed them into being represented by one, which is that one.
Generic James Bond Lotus.
Generic James Bond, sort of, yeah.
But at least the S1 did something. The turbos just sort of potted around a bit, and one blew up.
I always liked the red one from, what was that? Your Eyes Only?
Yeah, but it didn't do anything. He just drove it to a hotel.
I know, but it looked great because it was red. Right, moving on. Oh, another James Bond. James Bond, Aston Martin DB5.
Ooh.
There are a lot of James Bond cars. That is the one.
I
that's
did
a lot.
notice that when I was folding these up.
A lot of James Bond cars. I can't think why that's the case for a British slot car manufacturer to make a lot of James Bond slot cars.
John the Land Rover.
Showing the sheep.
Shaun the Sheep.
Showing the sheep. Excellent.
Right, so
I think not to be on the right side of history on that one.
Back to the Future DeLorean.
Oh yes, again one of the ones that's sort of 4-into-1.
Against, well, that's all right. Fast and Furious Toyota Supra.
Ooh. Now people
We're
might
going to
think
see which one can have all the bits fall off first. I'm talking about the real car here.
I was going to say steady on now. Steady on. I know you're a VW fan, but there's no need for that.
Okay, so Batmobile from 1989
Oh yeah, Michael Keaton.
against Kit
Ooh, I'm spotting an easy victory there. Never mind.
Yeah.
Kit can be the Scotland of this draw. Shouldn't really be there, but probably won't be there for long. Yeah.
You'll never be able to go back to Scotland if you say things like that.
So that suits me. No, no. It's not.
Oh, okay, right. This is obviously a Nick car. The Professionals Ford Capri.
Ah,
I can imagine
Against
when we get to that match, there's going to have to be a strong rebuttal.
Harry Potter Ford Anglia.
70s style versus magic.
Oh, is that the end of Group 2 yet?
no, this is the beginning of Group 3 now.
Group 3. I see. It's actually going quicker than I thought. I have to say, one of my fears with this was it would be the longest thing ever, but it's not. You're doing really well.
Starsky and Hutch Gran Torino.
Ooh. See,
Against
people of my age, that's going to score well.
James Bond, Aston Martin V8, The Living Daylights.
Mm.
That's not bad, actually. That would probably be, yeah.
So, I think the Cardigan's going to win that one.
Oh, here we go again. James Bond, Aston Martin DB4 GT.
Which is the very old 60s one, which is rarer than a rearing thing. And I think I have seen one once, but I felt it had to be in there, really. This is, it's the grandfather of all TV and film slot cars.
Was that the one with the sort of grille that was oddly shaped at the bottom?
I don't know. You'll have to mime that. Who's against?
Lightning McQueen.
Ooh. Two icons, basically.
Yeah. I watched that yesterday, actually, again.
Hmm.
Well, I've got a boy. He's not very old.
Kapow!
Yeah, my child is, or the male child is not interested in cars at all, but he didn't enjoy the cars things and collected all the cars stuff. And I was writing for Slot Magazine, and they sent me a set.
Lovely.
Oh, brilliant. Well, I'm quite pleased that my boy's first word he managed to say was wheel, and his second word was car.
Nice.
Apparently, and I tell no lies, apparently my first word was vroom.
Vanishing Point Dodge Challenger.
That was one of the ones Nick insisted on being in.
Did I?
Yes.
And the Barris Batmobile, 1960s.
Oh. Yes, as well. I think after James Bond cars, there are a lot of Batmobiles. So
Yeah.
we may end up with a Batmobile on Batmobile action at some point.
Dukes of Hazzard, General Lee. There's a good representation of Mopars in this, isn't there?
I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, I guess that's the American TV angle. Yeah.
Okay. Ewok Speeder Bike. What have we got left? 2, 4, 6 left. Right.
Right.
Batmobile, The Batman.
That's the new one.
Didn't really like that one.
Well, I shouldn't say this but it's getting cheaper and cheaper. So the slot car model, basically, I think you can,
I'm obviously not the only one that didn't really like that.
yeah, I think it's knocking on. You can get it for about 20 quid at the minute. So yeah,
And that, I think that's a bit of a no match competition, really. Captain Scarlet SPV.
ah,
Yeah. Bye bye,
You've
Batman.
now
on that
driven,
one, I
or
think.
those of us that turned up last Wednesday got to drive.
he said it was nearly as quick as a slot it.
Now.
Don't put him off. He's on a roll. He's on a
It
roll.
had a magnet in.
You ready? Right. Mad Max, Ford Falcon.
Yep.
Against. Oh, another Batman. Batmobile, Batman Begins.
The tumbler.
And we have one match up left then.
One match up left.
Hopefully hopefully we've counted right.
The campest slot car ever made. Fab 1.
Yay! Nearly the biggest slot car ever made, I think.
Yeah, against the smallest, the Italian job, Cooper S.
Brilliant.
I do think
concludes
Lady
the draw.
Penelope's getting edged by the SPV at the moment.
So I'll throw a caption up while we're reading this, but just to recap, so it's oh you have to Nick will recap because I can't read his writing.
We've got Group 1. Aston Martin DBS Quantum of Solace versus the Turnco MG Metro 6R4. The John Wick Barracuda against Captain Scarlet's red thing. Inspector Morse's Jag against Del Boy's Reliant Regal. AMC Hornet against Mr. Bean's Mini. Then we go Bluesmobile versus the James Bond Lotus Esprit. Then we got James Bond DB5 against Shaun the Sheep in his Land Rover. Then the DeLorean against the Fast and Furious Supra. And the 1989 Batmobile against Kit.
So that's halfway through. Any of those you're particularly looking forward to?
I think the victory for Shaun the Sheep is going to be amazing.
A car with stickers in the window.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sensing a certain prejudice when we get to that one.
I'm a stickerist.
You're a stickerist. We're against sticker headlamps, aren't we? We don't like sticker
Yes.
headlamps. We
No,
want real headlamps.
Not really fond of sticker sheep.
Sticker sheep. Anyway, second half of the
Second
job.
half of
so
the
I have
job.
a mouthful of tea. If you got that,
Yeah,
I'll waffle on
Tip
for a
it in my
minute.
ear for a second.
He hasn't had a coffee. I don't know how he's done. Unless he's got. Are you sort of dripping it in intravenously?
There.
There you go.
Yeah.
Professionals Caprice versus Harry Potter's Ford Anglia. It's an all Essex lineup.
Yeah. And it's
Star-
sort of chalk and cheese of Essex, that really.
Starsky and Hutch with the Gran Torino versus the V8 Living Daylights.
I was watching a documentary about Starsky and Hutch recently, and apparently they were. You might know this already. Apparently they were pissed off that the car was more famous than they were. Yeah. Sorry.
James Bond DB4 GT versus Lightning McQueen. The Vanishing Point Dodge Charger versus the 60s Batmobile.
See, I couldn't. He's struggling with his writing, and I couldn't really.
Yeah.
General Lee versus the Ewok speeder bike. It's about fun, kids.
Where
Fun.
are you on small
Ewok.
funny? Where are you on small funny bears with kung fu skills?
Well,
At least there's no Ninja Turtle skateboard, which I only excluded, by the way, because to the best of my knowledge, there was no giant skateboard in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, was there? I mean, they did skateboard, but there was no giant skateboard.
no. And I don't believe there was a Toyota truck either, or whatever sort of truck it was.
Oh, I can't remember. I wasn't paying that much attention then. I worked for BMW at the time.
No, fair enough. The Batman's Batmobile, the one that you can't see because it's dark and raining all the time, versus the SPV, which you can see because it's huge.
It's huge. More wheels than a wheelie.
It's
thing.
got a lot of wheels. Mad Max's Aussie Ford versus the Batman Tumbler. And finally, the final pairing, and it's a big one. It's of its era. It's Fab 1 versus the 3 Minis from the Italian job.
I wonder if actually the 3 Minis equate to the length of a Fab 1.
Well,
Probably do, don't they?
I think we could find out.
We could find out.
We could find out.
Would that be the ultimate thing, though? I mean, like a Fab 1 that opens up at the back in 3 minutes.
Do you remember?
And you press a button and Michael Caine speaks.
Do you remember though? At one of the slot festivals, somebody had a bus and the minis, and he'd be driving the bus round, and he was driving the minis into the back of the bus.
Yeah.
That was seriously impressive. Yeah. So we need a bus. Anyway, so thank you for the draw. So we'll now, as I say, we'll put up the thing, and we'll start off having the matches. We're going to try and do them in batches of 4, I think. But we may change that.
Group stages.
The group stages, you know. But that's often quite interesting. That's where the plucky underdogs get their not even 5 minutes in the sun.
That's when you get to see Paraguay against Switzerland, isn't it?
Which is sort of like whatever that AMC is versing. That's something to do. Good stuff. Anyway, Dave, thank you very much.
Are you going to do like sort of, so there'll be 4 and 4, and then there'll be a second round that's just 4?
It's going to go from 32 to 16 to 8 to 4 to 2 to a winner.
So's the audience.
No, this is social gold. It's social. I may have given up the will to live before we get to the end of it, but that's.
Next year we're going to be going, should we do an Advent thing?
Next year you're going to start with 64 cars.
Yeah, all the ones that didn't qualify this time. Never mind.
We'll find out next year. We'll know how well this series did, because you'll either start with 64 or you'll start with 4.
Mercifully, you only do this sort of thing once every 4 years, so we're saved. All right, thanks, Dave. Good to see you.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, excellent. Have a Merry Gwyndaff.
No, thank you.
Oh, he's been saving that up. So, thank you to Dave for doing that for us. And we've now got our list of games to play, and we'll be doing the first 4 shortly. But what are you looking forward to? What matches are you keenly anticipating? Okay, what?
AMC Hornet versus Mr. Bean.
Ooh.
Well, there's some potential there.
I'm initially dismissive of the AMC Hornet, but
there's no such thing as an easy game at this level. This is the thing.
Let me finish my semi-serious point, because I forget what I was going to say.
Oh, go on.
It's the car that did the barrel roll.
Yes, it is.
So it's just an AMC Hornet, but it's a car that did the barrel roll. So
is that mags in or mags out?
Well, definitely out. I think it wouldn't work otherwise, would it? Anything else? Which ones? I've got to declare. If this was proper, it's a knockout. And those of you from Britain will remember it's a knockout. Those of you who live everywhere else, we have to explain. It was a game where different towns, or a TV programme, different towns would come together in teams, dress up in crazy costumes, and have to do really daft challenges and games. And in Europe it was called Jeux sans frontières. But the thing was, you could play a joker. So if you thought you were going to do well in your game, you played your joker and it doubled your points. So it was a bit of a gamble. We're not doing that, so I'm just explaining it for the background. If I was playing a joker, I would be playing it for the Ternco MG Metro 6R4 from 1986, I think, 87. Because I worked with Metro 6R4s, and that car is kind of quite important to me. It was in a not very good TV drama about a young man who wanted to go rallying and managed to get himself a Group B car, as you do. So yeah, I think, but it's up against the James Bond Aston Martin from the Quantum of Solace,
which is a left field Bond car. So let's see how that one goes.
See how that one goes. Okay, and then of course we've got things to look forward to, like the Mr. Bean riding it up his Mini.
Yep.
And we've got an Ewok riding a speeder bike.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's a final right there. Don't. I wouldn't put odds on it.
It could be the end of something.
So the format will be that we will record a batch of matches, probably 4 at a time, and then we'll publish those, not all at once, so you can follow this through, and hopefully we'll get it finished before the new year. I'm not willing to bet any quicker than that, but hopefully it'll be fun.
That's always the hope.
That's always the hope. So, in true, we're going to go out like the two Ronnies.
I think we should.
Okay.
Doing an impression of them.
It's good night from me.
And it's good night from him.